Well, hey everybody, Will Hankey here from Window Treatment Marketing Pros. Hope you're having a great week. It's Friday. It is time to get ready for the weekend, but let's talk a little bit about Facebook and how they can help you with your business. Some different things that you need to do to optimize your account, get the most out of it. And this all started because somebody in one of the Facebook groups on window coverings mentioned that her website or her Facebook page wasn't showing up in Google. And I did a little research and found a couple things that were probably set wrong. And because of that, I thought, well, I'll just put together a Facebook Live today. So that's where that came from. And so I'm going to share my screen here. If I can figure out how they keep changing all these buttons. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do. So give me a second to figure this out. In the meantime, I hope everyone is doing well. So let's see, I'm going to share that screen. And hopefully you guys can see this. Share. All right, so let's put that up there. And let's see if we can shrink me down. Maybe, no. That'll work, won't it? Okay, very good. So, okay, you can see my this is my Facebook page here. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the left and go down to pages, of course. That should be hopefully in everybody's Facebook profile. Everybody's going to be a little bit different because they obviously customize. So then you see all the pages that you've liked. But up here at the top, you've got your pages. So click on that. And then we're going to pick a page. I'll pick the Window Treatment Marketing Pros page, of course. So here we are on my page, and this, of course, will be the same for your business. So you want that's how you would find your business page. There are a couple other ways to find it. I think you can go up here and get to use the little drop down and get to your page that way. But you know, there's a couple different ways to get there. So that's just the one I chose. Anyway. Here I am on my page, and I'm not going to go down too far because it'll probably show me live anyway on the page. So the first thing that we want to do is right here at the top right, we're going to go to settings. So these are all the settings obviously for this particular page. And let me get back over to my notes here. So the first thing that you really need to make sure that you do is go to page info, which is the third, I guess we'll call it a tab. Third tab down. Fill in your description right here. Fill in any categories that you think you might qualify for. So this would be interior design, workroom, window treatments, window coverings. You know, so think a little bit about keywords, of course, but you know, put in different things here. You can see that they have pre-approved categories. So window installation, maybe home window service. Yeah, you could probably get away with that one. And then there's probably something for interior design. There you go, interior design studio. So if you can come up with 3 or 4 of those, that's fantastic. If you can come up with 1 or 2, that's fine as well. Of course, put your phone number in there. I'm getting a little ahead of myself with some of these, but go ahead and put your phone number in there. Make sure. So here's the thing. This is one of the reasons that your page might not show up in Google, your Facebook page, is if you don't have a verified phone number listed here. So very important that you have a good phone number. I like to use a service called CallRail, and we do this for all of our clients. CallRail is a service that lets you get a different phone number. So you can get a different phone number, and then you can do call tracking. So what you can do is you can put a different phone number on your Facebook page, a different number on your website. They all forward to your regular phone line. But then you can actually see who's calling from where, which things that you're working on are actually working. So you're not wasting time, that kind of stuff. So very important that you have a phone number there. I think if you do the My Page doesn't have a phone number, that's going to get you out of Google. So definitely need to do that. All right, next, I'll jump over here, make sure there's no comments. Thank you for doing this, Will, no problem. All right, next, website. The thing that I see here the most often, obviously put your website in here, but the thing I see the most, two things. First of all, sometimes people are forgetting to put the S, HTTPS, and if your site does not have the S, then you need to get what's called an SSL certificate, or you need to get a different hosting company that offers it for free. I have a hosting company that offers part of SSL as part of our free service, along with the hosting. So very important that you have HTTPS. And the way to check this, I'm using Chrome, is just to go to your website, type it in to the old browser there, and then what you can do is click on it and copy that. And what you'll see, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back over to Facebook, and I'm just going to hit paste, and we'll see that it automatically copied either HTTP or HTTPS, even though when I was over here, you don't see that. So when you paste it, it does show that. If yours does not have the S, you need to do one of two things. Get a hold of your hosting company and ask them to tell them you need an SSL certificate installed on your website. And then you need to go into your website and update it so that it's always pulling up the S version. S stands for secure. Or secondly, find a different host that offers that as part of their service. If you have to pay for SSL, you're probably going to pay around $120 a year. But as I said, there are hosting companies like ours that offer that for free when you pay for a year of hosting. So very important to have that S there. But make sure that your website's in there. Make sure it's correct. The second thing that I see when it comes to websites is people using the www. How many did I put? I put 2. 3. People putting the www when their website is not using the www. So a lot of websites nowadays, including ours, don't have that www in there anymore. And it's really, there's no difference. It's just a preference thing. But it's 4 less characters that somebody might have to type in. So I prefer to not use it. We're always just whatever the domain is, that is it. So if you're putting the www in and you don't actually use it, then you don't need it. Again, just copy it from go to your website homepage, copy it, paste it in there, and then you know it is exactly correct. Okay. So I'm going to hit cancel there. I don't want it to think I'm making changes. All right. Next is your email. Make sure that you have some way in there for people to contact you. And this is going to affect the button on the front end of your page that has, contact this business. So obviously, if that's not there, or your phone number is not there, if this stuff isn't filled out, then it's not going to have that button there. People aren't going to be able to contact you and hire you. So it's in your best interest to fill these out, right? All right, Wi-Fi, you don't have to worry about. Address is up to you. So you can see I did not put my street address in there. I only put my location, Arnold, Missouri. You could put a street address in there. However, in a lot of cases, for people that are working from home or have a home office, they don't necessarily want that address in there. So that's fine. You can do that. And then, of course, customers visit my business at my street address. You would check that if you have an actual workroom, an actual location where customers would come to, that sort of stuff. If not, don't check that box, okay? And then if this is located inside another place, so if you were inside, let's say a mall or something like that, you would check that box and put, I'm inside Will's Mall, there, something like that. As far as service area, for most window treatment companies, this is going to be important. So you're going to want to put your city there. So you're going to put something like Denver, Colorado, which is not where I'm at, but just an example. So definitely put in your service area there. and that will help you help them know when somebody's typing something like window treatments Denver, that you are one of the ones that come up. So typically you would do that right there. And you can put cities, regions, neighborhoods. Facebook knows a lot of information about us, unfortunately. So you can probably type a lot of things in there. For most window treatment companies, just something like Denver is going to work because that's going to be a pretty big radius area there. All right, next up, hours. Definitely you want to put your hours in here. If you have a regular schedule, especially if you're closing early on Fridays or you're not open on the weekends, that kind of stuff, make sure you put your hours in there. And if you have a call answering service like an after hours call center or something like that, you could get away with putting always open. But for most people, we don't have that. So, all right, next up is how expensive are you? You can put the little dollar range. I just left mine blank. Put in some different products down here. And then you would want to put in your privacy policy link, which I'm not sure if I have. I probably should have that in there. And if not, I need to put one on my site. Privacy policies are very important for, especially if you're a BBB member or something like that. They really want you to have a terms of service and a privacy policy page. So there we go. I learned something today. I need to get both of those pages built and put that in there as well. So very important that under page info that this information is filled out. Let me check my comments. Everybody okay? All right. Looks like we're okay there. All right. Obviously, so I've gone back to the general tab on the left. And this is where we get into things like visibility and things like that. And these are some other things that can actually kick you out of Google, or not really get kicked out, just not ever be indexed and put into Google. So page visibility, obviously you want your page to be published. That's pretty easy. And then of course, most of these can stay default. There's really not a whole lot that you have to change on any of these. The big ones are country restrictions and age restrictions. If those are anything other than everyone, Google will not index your page. So even though you're only working in the US and you're only working in Denver or wherever it happens to be, if this is not set to everyone everywhere, it's very likely that Google will not index your page. So very important. Ages are the same way. And I think by default, this is actually 13 plus. Yeah, because in theory, nobody's under 13 should have a Facebook page anyway. Most 13-year-olds are probably not going to call for window treatments and awnings, but you never know. You need to have that open 100%. All right. So those are very important pieces to have. Make sure you don't delete your page. That would be really bad. So make sure you don't do that. Go back to my notes here. All right. The one thing that I missed, and I'm not sure where it's at. I thought it was under page info. It may have disappeared because I've already set it up. It used to be under page info, and that is your vanity URL. So by default, your page is going to be something like facebook.com/page/ and then a bunch of numbers, right? You can get a vanity URL, meaning in this case, I know it's really small, but facebook.com/window treatment marketing pros, right? So that is my vanity URL for my page. Much easier to remember, to tell people about, to type in, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I thought that was in the page info tab, but I'm not seeing it. I might not be seeing it, like I said, because I've already set it up. So I think once you set it up, you don't get a second chance at it. So you can't go rename it later. So make sure that you're either putting your business name in there, that would be best, is your actual business name, your legal name. Secondly, you could put some different keywords in there, although really I would go for business name. That way it looks official, doesn't look spammy, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see here. On the page, one thing that I do see a lot is this cover photo not being set up, or it's just generic. So you're missing an opportunity there to put in a beautiful set of draperies or something like that in this area. You could also put a picture of yourself. You could also, there's a lot of different things you could put here. Obviously, I just put our brand name here, but make sure that you're putting something there. If you have a special, this is a great place to put, during the month of October, 10% off all motorization, that kind of stuff. Something like that would be a really good thing to put into your Facebook cover. And one thing Facebook does a lot is change the size of the cover photo. It keeps changing. So I'm going to look it up so I don't tell you the wrong thing. So this says 820 by 316 is the correct size. Now, if it's on mobile, it's just gonna scrunch it a little bit. But if you can get something that's 820 by 312 pixels, wide/tall, then you should be set for that particular thing. So, and that does change from time to time. That's just them updating for us and giving us more work to do. But always make sure that you have a really good cover photo here. I like these being changed out for window treatment companies and awning companies monthly, especially rotating around specials and things that are going on, different calls to actions. If you guys are speaking at an event or any kind of stuff like that, definitely update your cover photo as well. So, all right, see if I got any questions. Looks good. All right, next thing is back to settings. And let's see if I can find, maybe it's just under general, page info. Yeah, we went through this already. So, here we go. Description. I breezed over this earlier, but make sure that your description is something that is sprinkled with keywords. You don't want to go crazy and shove a bunch of spammy keywords in there, but it's definitely important that in your description, and I think down here you've got an impressum, you've got some products, make sure that part of those things include keywords related to your industry, related to what you're doing, that kind of stuff. Very important that you, I like the word sprinkle the keywords throughout those various areas. The other reason that this is important is because the description is what is going to show up in in Google most times in the description of what your Facebook page is about. So important also there to have something that's compelling, something that says, oh yeah, when somebody reads that, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for, and they're going to click on your result in Google when there's 9 others that they could choose from. So I think sprinkle is a good word for that, to make sure that you do that strategically throughout your site, throughout your page. All right. Next up is call to action. So lately, Facebook has been offering to add some a call to action to your page. So let's go to a different one. Let's go to Sunshine, and I'm not sure what theirs is, so we'll just go the long way to get to it. Let's see. Come on, you can do it, baby. You can do it. All right, I'm going to click it before it loads. So here we go. You see this button right here, Shop Now? Isn't that fantastic? So this is a call to action button that you can add to your page. Most, if you don't have one, you may actually have one by default. If you don't have one by default, then there's probably some sort of Facebook thing that's saying, hey, you need to set this up, right? But you can edit this button and you can choose a couple different things. So what do you want people to do? Do you want them to shop? Do you want them to contact you? Do you want them to set up an appointment? That's probably going to be the most popular one. In fact, shop with us is a little confusing because sorry, I got something popping up here. The shop now means you probably have some sort of e-commerce type site. So most of you probably don't have that. So very important that that this matches. So you would want to put most likely book with you, right? Set up an appointment of some sort. Book now, next, and then where should we send people? They have a new service that's appointments on Facebook. You can connect them to another tool, or you can link them to your website. So in this case, I would probably link them straight to Sunshine's Contact Us page, which makes the most sense. So I'm going to click on Contact, and then I'm going to copy that, plug that right in here, save. Now your button says Book Now, finish. There we go, Book Now. Now, so since I'm owner of this page, or I'm an admin of this page, of course it lets me, edit, gives me some options, but most people will just see, your customers will just see the Book Now option. They'll click on that and they'll dump now to that assign, set up an appointment type page. So important that you have that in there. And let me see if I got any comments. No, okay, we're going to keep cruising along here. The other thing you could do with this page or this call to action button is let them download something. So you could set it up where if you have a design guide or something, the Sunshine website has a design guide that people can download. So if they're not ready to purchase at that particular moment, they can download a free, I don't know, it's a 2-page design guide or something like that, right? So that's something else you could do here if you didn't want to dump them to book an appointment, or you don't have some sort of auto appointment system set up on your site. You probably should, but if you don't, the other thing you can do is offer them some sort of what we call a lead magnet, something that just provides value to the end customer and really in their mind solidifies you as the leader in the area, because wow, they gave me all this information before I come in. I need to know what kind of draperies I'm looking at, what kind of material I want, so this design guide is written in that way that it kind of prepares them prior to setting up an appointment, making a purchase, that sort of stuff. In our industry, we call that a lead magnet because that's exactly what it is. It's a free piece of value that you give to them and kind of sucks them in a little bit, right? So, all right, we talked about permissions. So the last thing, before I make sure I have any comments, if you guys have any questions, let me know. The last thing that you should set up, and you'll notice on Sunshine's page that it says here, go to Business Manager to manage this page. So if you are ever in the next couple years thinking that you might do some advertising on Facebook, boosting posts, running ads to a cold audience, that sort of stuff, because you're really in growth mode and you've got $3 or $5 or $100 or $1,000 a month to put towards running ads, then you really should sign up for Business Manager. And that is business.facebook.com and set up your account through there. I'm not going to go to it because mine's going to look a lot different because I'm coming from the ad side I would be somebody that you would set up on your team to help run ads, those sort of things. So it's going to look a lot different for me than it would for you. But Business Manager, business.facebook.com, go through, set that up. As a minimum, go through and set it up. Even if you're not going to use it for a year or two or whatever, at least have that set up, because that, it'll get your credit card. It'll create an ad account for you. It'll lock those together. If you've done boost posts in the past, it'll put those together. It'll link them together so that everything goes through what we call the Business Manager. And the Business Manager is really cool if you start getting team members, or you get somebody that's doing your social media. You can give them access to your page through Business Manager without giving them full-on access to everything. So there are some extra things you can set up. You can only give them access to post to your page, but not to run ads, or you can give them access to run ads. There's a lot of different things you can do inside Business Manager. So that's your little bonus tip for today, is business.facebook.com. Set that up and get that going. So I don't see any questions. My hair looks a little crazy today. It's Friday. I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. But hopefully these tips help you all out. One last thing I want to tell you about, and that is our new social media posting service that we've launched. And let me go. It's wtmarketingpros.com/social. And this is pretty cool. One of the things that Facebook does with Facebook pages is they give preference to businesses that are posting every day. So if you're posting on your Facebook page every day, their algorithm, right, the secret algorithm in the sky, is going to give you a little bit more preference, give you a little bit more opportunity to show organically in front of people. So having that posting every day is definitely beneficial to your business. We've launched a new service for $117 a month, and that's probably going to go up here pretty soon. $117 a month, we will post window treatment related content to your page every single day. And we've got several clients on this now, and they're seeing engagement increasing. They're seeing more Facebook page likes, things of that sort. Here's a couple examples. They're all quite different from each other. Got a lot of great tips in here. So if you're interested in having your social media post every day, $117 a month, you really can't beat that. You're not going to hire somebody to do social media for that price, really, other than us, right? But anyway, that is at wtmarketingpros.com/social. And that's it. We're at 28 minutes. So I don't see any questions. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday, fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.